Welcome back to this clown's garage. In this video I will be doing a 1979 Camaro rear leaf springs. We're dropping the car. We're putting Summit lowering springs in this car. And you can check out my channel for the front for that video. In this video I'll be doing the back, these leaf springs right here. These are 2mm bolts here. So let's try taking these out first, see if they're going to snap off. Oh, these came off.
Coil, man.
It's a coil, baby.
The other side snapped right off.
Yep. Let's try this. Now, this can help you hold the leaf spring in, but actually this over here is snapped. You see that?
We didn't snap it, it was like that.
Yep. And you can see the other sides. This side has it down there. You can see that.
Yeah, you can't really see it.
Alright, so now we're just gonna take the remaining bolts off. Nuts. We need heat. This isn't coming off, so we're gonna use some heat over here to heat these nuts. Gotta heat these nuts, baby. Spray some coil in there. Just like that. Like butter. And that one's off too. One thing to mention, if your sway bar is broken like over here, it's not going to hold this up, so this is going to swing upwards and the spring is going to go down. Be careful you're not around here when you're doing this job. Make sure you're away from this whole setup like I am here. Over here, like I said, if this was holding it in, your sway bar would be holding this in. 15mm for the shock. Oops. Now this one. Now if you don't have an air gun, what you gotta do, you gotta put an open-end wrench over here, or an adjustable wrench to hold that, or use a wrench over here, regular wrench over here to turn it. Now I'm just gonna take this pad off, take these rubber pieces off, the bushings, and now the shock, you have two bolts on top, so let me go ahead and take those off. 13mm bolts up here hold the shock in place. And one on this side. The whole shock just comes right out. And look what we found hiding up in there. A freaking crab. Damn spider. Huge. Woo!
Thank God it's fucking dead.
Alright, there are 3 bolts here. They're 14mm bolts. I'm gonna loosen them, but I'm not gonna take them fully out. So here goes. There's one over here. Let's take that one out. I'm just gonna leave one a little tight for now. There's one on top. but let me get this one first. I'm gonna leave this one threaded in, and I'm gonna do the top one. Top, we need an extension to get to it. So let me see if I can get on there. Right there. And that's it for here. Remember, just leave that one over there loose. Now let's do the back. Now the shackle's over here in the back. On one end you can't put a socket, but that's okay because it's held in place by the bracket, the shackle. So you see that I can't move. So all you gotta do is just take one side off. Same thing for the bottom one. So I'm gonna show you in there how you take that off. It's an 18mm socket I'm gonna put on it. Okay, so one bolt is, the nut is over here. That's 18mm, and this is what I'm using to get to it. I'm using this ratchet with a pipe to get the leverage. And let's see if we crack that loose. There you go. Yeah, baby. Who's your clown? And what does he do? So this is a solo process. I'm just gonna go ahead and take that off the rest of the way. Alright, now I'm gonna put a ratcheting end over here, 18mm, to get this top one. So let's see if this, yep. And there goes that. Now I'm just going to take this bolt I had over here off. Let this go down. And over here, as I move this around, that should come off. Just like that. Just twist it. And it comes right out. Just like that. Alright, now on top over here, you just jimmy that out. And that comes right out.
That hurt.
And we have new polyurethane bushings we're putting in there. So we're just going to take those out and put those in. You could spray some silicone spray in there so the new bushings can go in nice and smooth. A little bit of butter sauce, so we can do that now. In there, that's pretty much it. And lather up the new bushings with silicone or anti-seize.
Oh yeah, filming me. This guy's filming me.
All right, so we put anti-seize on the bushing. Now we're gonna put it in there. Yeah, baby, stick it in. And we use a pry bar to push it in. Because my assistant's weak.
Fuck you.
We're gonna use a pry bar. Yeah, baby. That's what I'm talking about. The same thing on the other side. Now this side. And we're going to use the same technique here with the pry bar. Push as much as you can by hand, and the rest by pry bar. And we're good. Use some anti-seize on his shaft.
Always got to use anti-seize on the shaft.
If you're wondering why my assistant's laughing like that, he's actually a leprechaun.
Yes, I am.
Alright, nice and lubed up, I like it. And we're going to insert that in the hole. put in as much as we can by hand. And the rest, we try to tap it in with the hammer. Or pry bar in the beginning. Probably with the hammer. There you go. Slow and steady, baby, slow and steady. There you go. Alright, just in case you guys are wondering, we're putting in Summit leaf springs, part number 7081 GM-2, and the shackles and the polyurethane bushings are energy suspension, and that's the part number 735364. And now we're putting in this side. Here, we're just putting anti-seize inside there so we could slide those bushings in. And anti-seize all over the bushing itself. Now, they also supply you with some lube. You can also put that lube, but we just like anti-seize. And the same thing on the other side. Okay, lubed up the shaft too. Press that in. There you good. Okay, now we're putting the shackles on. They supply you with the shackles and the bolts. And these are nylocks. So make sure the nylon part is on the outside when you put it on. And my lovely assistant got the other shackle.
Alright.
And when we put the other one on, it's the same procedure on top. I'm gonna put it in this way.
So just picture that on top, the same thing.
What here is I'm gonna take the shackle off, put it on the new one. And as you can see here, this here is level. So I'm gonna try to put it level with the other one when I put it on. They're both 3/4 here on the other side too. Now to put this on, I'm gonna have to use a hammer to hammer the bitch in. Until the holes line up. And like I said over here, this should be level with this, as it is. And I'm gonna tighten that down. Just tighten this up. That's good. Alright, so you might need a helper to help you on the other end while you try to thread this in. And you got the 3 bolts here. So I'm gonna try to lift it up and thread it in at the same time. Let's see if this will work. Alright, go up. Yeah, baby, that's what I'm talking about. Who's your clown daddy? Now we're gonna come back and tighten these later. You want a little play here because we're gonna put the shackles in now. Alright, now that the other end is nice and loose, I'm gonna put this in here.
Good enough?
Yep. And that's good for now. We're in the middle now. You see this hole here? There's a nut here, so that goes right through the hole. See that nut right there? So I'm going to use a jack to push this up. And I'm going to align that with the hole over there. So let me go ahead and do that. Now normally here, I usually have this holding it up, but since it's broken here, there's a lot of space in between. I could also push this down by hand. So I'm gonna jack this up a little bit, and I'm gonna push the rest of the way down by hand. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that now. Alright, so as you jack it up, now, right there, went right in.
Right in. You got the washer?
Alright, now these bolts here, I'm just gonna put them through there. That was lined up nicely actually. And put the sway bar bushing through that. Put this bad boy right there. Lock washer and nut.
Yeah, you're good.
And that caught. So now you could just go ahead and tighten everything down. Alright, now to put the shock in, put the bottom in first. Just like that. Just like that, baby. Oh, that's one way to do it. Okay, so we jacked it up from here until the shock compressed a little bit. Now we're putting in this bushing, a washer, and giving us 2 nuts. So thread those in one at a time. Ready?
Yeah.
All right, that's good. You might have to hold the shock body when you're doing that, so the whole thing doesn't move. And I'm just gonna do this, give it a quick tug here. With holding the shock. And we're good. Just a 2-man job, no back here. We put 2 open ends, one over there and one over here. So I'm just gonna tighten them down. And the car should be on its own weight when you do this. So I'm just gonna help him do those. Just 2 open ends to get those. Same thing in the bottom. Yeah. So these sizes are 7/8 and 13/16. Alright, so we dropped the car and we tightened everything back up, nice and tight. Now I have a video on my channel on how to lower the front, and we just lowered the back. So that's what it looks like, lowered. thanks for watching. Subscribe to my channel. Like me, share me, and do whatever you want to me. See ya!